to me being one of the trailblazers of urban fashion, and it became a huge category, which is now streetwear, which has become a multi-billion-dollar business. But I'm one of the people that started fashion in the urban fashion lane before. I'm dating myself, but literally we paved the way for a lot of the other brands, and we're still here. So
That's
we're
a
online
blessing.
now. So that Walkerwear is still in existence. This is Walkerwear. Anything with this logo, so like Tupac, Biggie, Tretch, Naughty by Nature, like Mike Tyson, a lot of people, especially in the golden era of hip hop, and now coming back. If you watch Power, Joseph Sikora, we have a lot of people that wear the brand now. So I'm just happy. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm always grateful for the opportunity to talk about Walkerwear and explain the journey, talk about the legacy, because I think we grew up in hip hop and we were a part of it, and we're synonymous with that. So it's very important to me that the culture, as we keep elevating, that we keep telling our stories, because if we don't tell our stories, they're going to erase and go away, and the next generation won't know about it. You know what I mean?
They won't know what really happened.
Exactly.
Where they come from.
Right. It was a multi-billion-dollar industry in the 90s, and it was from the Aniches to the Sean Johns to the Fubu's to the, Carl Canards, Cross Colors. We could go on and on. PNB Nation, Naughty Gear. It's so many brands. Woolwear, they just came back.
Ooh, that's a classic.
You know what I mean? But we were there. We were in the building. I got some stories. Funny story about Aniche. Tony Shelton, that started Aniche, was my first sales representative.
Nice.
So that's where he got
So look how the universe works.
Universe works very. A lot of all stars came out of our camp. So. So we're here, but the Walker Gems book is all about that journey.
Exactly. If you
It's
read
really
this book,
just about the hustle, the blueprint, and getting through the journey with not taking no for an answer, and how to get through it. So I think a lot of times we overthink things, and we get stuck in our own heads, and fear paralyzes a lot of people. So this book is about pushing past that fear.
The what is.
Exactly.
I always tell people, if you love what you're doing, you'll go far.
Exactly. Passion.
You'll figure out the end goal eventually, but just love it.
Absolutely.
well, I want to get. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just was gonna say what he said. Passion plus purpose.
Look, what am I opening to?
See,
what
the
is
universe is in agreement.
Wow. See how that just turned?
This is why. Do you understand why I'm saying this is the blueprint? This book, because I don't want to give it all away, and we are actually giving a giveaway. So for the holiday season and going into the new year, Miss April Walker is going to change your life.
Yeah,
Get your ass off the couch. ASS. And I say this because, guys,
I was gonna say, I don't know how you're giving them away, but if they're calling in and you get their name,
it's a process. They don't even get it today.
They don't even know.
Today it's because we're all about
Good luck,
empowerment, changing your life, and really getting to know what the Walker Gems are. This is how you win this book. First, you have to follow I Am April Walker. That's one. You have to follow Walkerwear, and you have to follow Walker Gems. She also, if you follow her, this
and you have to follow you.
Oh, yeah, right. You have to follow Kalia Clark, Casey the Connect. But the main thing is you have to repost something from her page that you find inspirational. Now, if you're into yoga, it might be yoga. If she does one of her posts that you find inspirational, let me repost that. She's going to pick the winner, because the winner is going to display to her and I why they should get the book, because this is not like a book that you just give away. Like, if you buy it, it's worth every single penny. So if you win it, you have to know that you've been blessed and you really wanted this. I don't want anyone to have this book that is not going to read it, pass it on, and really either give it to someone else or buy more books. We're at a point, in the business where we promote so many different things. We promote everything on Instagram. We promote everything negative that's going on in the world. If you go on trending topics, it's the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm Casey the Connect, the product placement queen, and I'm telling you this. This is, you know how Oprah has her book club? Well, Casey the Connect, the product placement queen, tells you what's hot in the streets. This, bestseller, #1. It'll change your life because it's her experience. So this goes into perception versus truth. Now this is not going to be your experience. She's just telling you what she's gone through. But everybody goes through something, and it can help the next person.
You take what you can learn from it.
Yes, you can. And you want to know what I've learned from this book? The 3 C's. And tell us what the 3 C's are.
I'm going to say confidence, competence, and clarity, right?
Yes, and please explain that, because those 3 C's, we're not talking about Chanel, which I'm wearing. We're talking about things that can better you as a person and in business. That's the most important thing.
Right. So the 3 C's are very important. It's funny because I just was having a conversation with Jennifer. I work with Jennifer, and we were talking about when you write your goals, when you're goal setting, a lot of times we're very broad in what we want to come to life and what we see. Like, I want $1 million.
Speak on it.
You know, but instead of $1 million, how are you going to get to that $1 million? How are you going to reverse engineer? So in my mind, you have to be crystal clear, as detailed as you can, about how you see that $1 million. Is it, I'm going to have a radio station, and in my radio station, I'm going to get 50% of that money is coming from advertising, and that's going to garner X amount per year. Then I'm going to have a promotions hustle, and that promotions hustle is going to be another third of that, and that's going to garner X amount per year. And then I might have a product placement company over here, and that extra hustle is what brings me home. You know? So that's your $1 million, but you've got to be able to see it. You've got to be able to say, on this date, at this time, this is how it's going down, and this is where I will be in it, because I will have done X, Y, and Z. And I think it's super important to write realistic goals and to visualize them and see them come to pass. That's confidence, and clarity. Because if you're aiming for the moon and you've never gotten to be able to hit the ceiling, it's unrealistic. So make your goals realistic.
You have to know what it feels like before.
Make them measurable.
Another favorite of mine, one of your quotes, is, "Don't wait for the opportunity, make the opportunity."
That's the story of my life.
I love that. And I'm only saying I love that because I tell people in this era, sometimes you can't wait for other people. You have to create your own self. You know, you can't wait for somebody to create you as an artist or as a brand.
Absolutely.
So I definitely respect that.
Yeah. You have to be the captain of your own ship, so to speak. You know, I always say something, and it's, let me lead my life, not chase it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so don't wait for the opportunity, make the opportunity. Means whatever you really believe in, it can happen, but you have to see it first in your head, right? Everything we create is created twice. First in our thoughts, and then we manifest it. 99% of the creative process is done in the unseen. Mm-hmm. So don't focus on that. Focus on the process.
I love it.
Because if you focus on the process, it's going to come to life. But too many of us want it now. Or we want someone, an opportunity to come and knock on our door and to say, hey, my name is Opportunity. I'm here to save your life. No, be your own hero. Figure it out. Like, you have to create the opportunity. And if there is no opportunity, find it. Like, there was no opportunity. I was the only woman in terms of being a designer in an all-male dominated business when it started, before it was urban fashion. At 20 years old, can you imagine what that was like in a garmental business? I just saw hip hop was on the rise. I was going to see Fresh Fest, watching LL Cool J, Run DMC on stage with Adidas, leather shelter. I was like, this is what I want to do right here, and I want to make clothes for this lifestyle because this is me. It didn't exist, but I knew what that was because I was cutting up my own jeans. I was already studying out my stuff. I was ripping up my shirts, but there was nothing for that. I was going and hanging in Dapper Dan, so I knew what that was like, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do, but it worked. I saw it. It wasn't there yet, but if you see it, you eat it, you breathe it, you visualize it, you figure it out.
Take what you can in,
and you start small sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I always say micro wins create macro wins, right? Because you have to start celebrate the everyday wins because they become the big wins if you keep applying it. So
I am so excited because as I'm listening to you talk, I'm kind of flipping through my notes, and every time I go to say something, you talk right on it so that I don't have to say it. That's why I've been quiet for the whole time.
And that's energy feeds energy.
It's amazing. Let's talk about this digital era here. That's a big part from going from where you were and into this new time. How do you feel like if digital era was back in your time, would you think you would be bigger than you already are, or?
That's a funny thing. I play with that in my head, and once it's everyone, you know, a lot of older people I know are like, oh my gosh, if that was there, we would be so. But it's a funny thing. It was magic then because we had to connect, we had to touch, we had to feel. If you wanted this, we were at the club. We were at the Supper Club or Broadway Internationals or the Fever or wherever that was, Red Parrot or whatever that looked like, the Palladium. You know, like we had to go and we had to meet people. We had to talk to them.
Maybe word them out.
Word them
I
out.
have a question because it's funny we on this topic because I just finished speaking to my friend a couple hours ago about this. Being that you come from that era, do you feel that you can still maneuver through the industry without social media?
Heck no. I mean, to me, social media it depends on what industry you're in. But if you're in entertainment or fashion, yeah, you need it. It's just like that. Social media and your website has become your business card.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the first thing, if you tell someone about your business and you don't have social media or a website, they're not taking you serious
at all. That just actually happened
crazy
to me, and I was so not embarrassed, but more because I had to redo my webpage because someone had stolen all my work, one of my former assistants. So that's why I touched on the digital era because I'm not young. People may think I am, but I'm definitely been in the game for over 18 years.
And you look fabulous, Mama. Fabulous.
I have a 21-year-old daughter. I'm the teen mom that didn't get a show. So let me just introduce Jay formally. Jay already famous. He has on Instagram where he says tag someone that you think is already famous or tag someone that you think is doing this or that. So I've been tagged to him quite numerously, right? A few times. Yeah. So it's only right that I have him on the Who Styling Who show. And what a blessing for you to meet someone with such. She's a legend.
Yeah, definitely. When you said it, I'm like, okay.
And to, now I kind of feel good that it's like me giving back. And I didn't mean to, in any way to dish you by saying, oh, teach the youth. The only reason why I said this is because
it's bridging the gap.
It's bridging the gap, and just knowing. Because God is definitely blessing you. I totally respect what you're doing. That's why I have you here. And I want you to keep going further. But it was people like her for me that got me here.
Well, I definitely had to respect the situation because I feel like no matter if it's the industry, just in life in general, a lot of people, especially in my age group, don't take the time out to learn from a person that's more experienced than them. And it's like, it's not like it's an issue, it's like if you're trying to go somewhere in life, why not just take the time out and even if you're not inspired, but just take whatever lesson they give you at the moment because, tomorrow's not promised. And if they gone, whatever lesson they were trying to teach you, you should just take that in because it's going to come later on.
We just had this conversation earlier too.
I speak to a lot of, I have a mentor, actually Salt-N-Pepa is my mentors.
Okay.
So,
I know them well.
Yeah, see, so like they always talk to me about a lot of things. My manager, he talk to me constantly. But like, it's not about them talking to you. It's about you just taking the time out and just sitting there listening, and seeing whatever they said and just applying it.
And the reason why I say that is because a lot of the newer generation, they think that they're doing something. Everything that's being done has already been done before. It's just, that's why I brought in social media, because when I was growing up, Lil' Kim was our #1 female rapper. And now that she's back, you know, that she never left the game. All the fashion that you see from Nicki Minaj, and
remixing her stuff.
Yeah, remixing it to a level that she's done it 2 or 3 or 4 times. So the fact that you don't even pay homage and you're just so, it's like almost like a disrespect that you guys are like, no, and really fight and get into blows. Like people have literally had fights. It gets up to a whole different level. Like, you're annoying and this and that. And it's like, no, we're not annoying. You don't even know what we had to go through to even listen to a Lil' Kim record, because it was explicit content. You weren't even really allowed to listen to that. Now you have young girls at 6, like little, you can't. I mean, thank God they're not cursing, but it's okay. It's cute. You put it on social media. Like, look at her. Look at her.
Yeah.
But back then, I couldn't say.
It's the opposite now of what it was. And it's funny you said Lil' Kim, but then your generation before me. So for me, it was Salt and Pepper. Like that's what I came up with. When I think about your question about the digital era, the other thing that I think about a lot, because I engage in reverse mentorship. Meaning I have a crew of younger people, like a younger dream team around me. We exchange ideas, but I sponge and hear what they're saying, and I listen.
Learn from each other,
We learn from each other. It's energy feeds energy.
My manager just said that recently too. He said, because when we met each other 2 years ago, he wasn't my manager yet. We was just friends, and he was like, I feel like I can learn from. He's in his 40s. He said, I feel like I can learn from you. He said, because you have a lot to teach me, just like I have a lot to teach. Yeah.
I think when you get stuck, I say stuck because the minute you think you know it all is the minute you stop growing.